I wanted micro adjustment at the router table. And this is what I built. The focus was fine adjustment, so you can sneak up on a cut instead of guessing. And that control comes from this micro adjust I built into the fence. Along the top is T-track for things like stop blocks for repeatable cuts. And the front T-track lets you add feather boards or stock guides to keep everything controlled. When the faces are closed, you get a smooth surface for clean passes. And when they're open, there's room for larger bits and dust collection. But before I built the fence, I went through a few prototypes. They helped me work through what worked and what didn't. Once I was happy with my design, I modeled everything in SketchUp. Well, I think a good place to start is with the back plate, so let's begin the build from there. I'm finally into my first cuts. And this happens. What is it this time? I went outside to see if I could find out why there's no power. Meanwhile, on the inside, it comes back on. Realizing we're all good again, it's time to get back to work. Before I get ahead of myself, there's a couple of 3-inch holes in this design. They need to be drilled into the back and bottom plates. But instead of drilling into the plates themselves and potentially screwing something up, I'll make a template instead. Use the hole saw on it and make the cut that way instead. And for anyone who enjoys these kinds of sounds, this one's for you. You know, it seems I'm always trying to avoid tear out these days, so I won't cut these slots all the way through. I take half the depth from one side, flip the board while keeping the same reference edge, and then finish the cut from the other side. It's a simple way to avoid tear out, and it gives me a clean cut. With the back plate finished, it's time to move on to the base plate. But since these cuts on the base are very similar to the back, let's just move on to the bracing. And before carrying on, I'll just break the sharp edges with a small round over. It just makes the fence more comfortable to handle. So I had this leftover zebra wood from a pool cue case my dad and I built together. We learned how to make box joints, and it turned into something pretty special.
Good game there, big guy.
Well, I wanted the grain to flow continuously across both fence faces, so I needed one long, uninterrupted piece. The ones I had left over were a bit short, so they needed to be glued up before I could mill them to final size. And after conditioning, I was pretty happy with how this piece turned out. Well, for now anyway, but more on that later. Next, I cut the groove for the T-track in the front face. So now that we have all the parts cut, it's time to bring everything together. And here's me in typical fashion, not thinking about what I'm doing and applying glue to the wrong edge. So I'll just wipe that off and try again. For dust collection, this piece I bought from Amazon works perfectly fine. But I thought I'd make it a bit more custom, so I made my own housing from something similar. So if you recall from before, I was pretty happy with this piece, until I did this. Well, I guess cutting it in half released some tension, causing this twist, and I didn't want to leave it this way, so I spent a bit of time to fix it. For the micro adjustment, I'm using a 1/4 inch threaded rod with 20 threads per inch. And that means for every quarter turn, it moves the fence by 0.0125 inches, or about 0.3 of a millimeter. And I have to say, it's been pretty satisfying for me seeing this whole project come together, and being able to tune in such a fine adjustment on my router fence. I'm also pretty happy with how the faces turned out. There's almost no difference between the left and right sides when they're closed, and the same goes for when they're open. So the workflow to set up the fence goes something like this. You place the fence close to where you want, lock the micro adjustment handle, you dial in the exact location, lock down the fence, then adjust both faces, making sure everything is secure. If you use them, slide your stock guides into position and adjust them. And if you use stop blocks, like this one that I made from some offcuts during the build process, slide it into position on the top T-track. I made a set of plans if you want to build this fence yourself. I'll update the description with a link when they're ready. And if you're curious about the workbench I'm using, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.